And now it's time for my last word on a new law here that grants, at least in theory, just two people, the Israeli Prime Minister and his defense minister, the power to drag the U.S. and the region into wider war with Iran. The change to Israel's basic law, which here is akin to a constitutional amendment, was barely noticed by the outside world. It was strong-armed through the Israeli parliament with little debate and zero detail by 62 members of Israel's 120-seat parliament who granted Netanyahu and his defense minister, rather than the full cabinet or even a narrow gathering of the security cabinet, the power in extreme circumstances to declare war or to engage in military operations that could spiral into war. And given Trump's decision this week to walk away from the Iranian nuclear deal and the president's support for Israel's persistent assaults on Iranian assets in Syria, the outside world may come to regret its inattention to the political maneuverings of lawmakers here. As much as Defense Secretary Mattis and the U.S. Joint Chiefs would have preferred a different outcome, Trump's abrogation of U.S. commitments under the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action put the military options squarely back on the table. Not only that, the president's seemingly unconditional green light for Israeli adventurism and his shared contempt for the Iranian regime is sure to influence Israeli cost-benefit calculations of future actions beyond its borders. If the Israeli Prime Minister and Defense Minister believe they can count on U.S. military support regardless of the consequences of their unilateral actions, these two Israelis can, again, theoretically, circumvent the entire U.S. Congress and ignite a chain of events that puts U.S. troops into prolonged combat despite clear restrictions codified in the post-Vietnam War Powers Act. Now, it's bad enough that here in Israel there's little public discussion or personal accountability for actions taken in the name of Israel's sovereign right to self-defense. But far worse is when just two leaders of a foreign nation, however close of an ally that nation may be, have essentially free rein to determine when and under what conditions the United States of America may be compelled to go to war.